Physics Form 5 Upper Unit 1 Forces and Motion Chapter 5 The Turning Effect of Forces. The moment of a force. The turning effect of a force about a hinge or a pivot is known as moment of a force. Examples: opening a door, turning on a tap, fixing a nut, rotating the steering wheel. In all these applications, what happens is a force is applying from a perpendicular distance from the pivot. Then a turning effect is produced by the force. When we calculate the moment of a force that is acting at a hinge or a pivot, we have to multiply the force that is acting from the perpendicular distance from the pivot. For this, we can use in simple forms moment equals F multiplied by D. The units of moment is Newton meters. Now we will look at the application of opening a door using the moment of the force. When we are discussing this application, we have to look or think from the top view of the door, because the force that we are applying to open the door is in the horizontal plane. According to that, look at the first picture. If we give the force A, the force A is coming along the hinge of the door. Therefore, it will not make a turning effect of the door. When we look at the force B, the door will open because the force is given by a perpendicular distance from the hinge. Look at the force B. If we give the force directly nearly to the hinge, then what happens? The door will not move, because even if we give a very large force, it's really hard to move or to give a turning effect to the door if we give the force from the edge or the hinge of the door. Therefore, we have to give the force at the longest possible perpendicular distance from the hinge in order to turn the door open effectively or easily. Now students, we will look at some problems that is related to the opening of doors. Right. Look at the first problem. According to that, the force is perpendicularly applying to the edge of the door from the hinge. Therefore, we can directly apply the equation moment equals to the force multiplied by the perpendicular distance from the hinge. The force is 50 newtons multiplied by 0.8 meters, which is the distance from the hinge. So we get the answer as 40 Newton meters. Now we will look at question B. Here the force is applied with an angle. So therefore we have to find the perpendicular distance from the hinge. So they have given the perpendicular distance from the hinge as 0.6 meters. So if you want to find the perpendicular distance from the hinge to the force, we have to extend the force with some dotted lines. So then we can get the perpendicular distance from the hinge. So in this question, the perpendicular distance from the hinge is 0.6 meters. Therefore, the moment is 50 Newton multiplied by 0.6 meters, and the moment is 30 Newtons meters. When we look at the question C, the force is applying along the hinge. Therefore, there is no perpendicular forces applying to the door. Therefore, this door is not moving or showing a turning effect. Therefore, the moment of this door is 0. center of gravity. You know, all the objects have a weight. So this weight of the object acts at the center of the gravity towards the earth. According to the first picture, you can see that all the center of gravities are at the centers of the images or the objects, right? So when it comes to the circle, the middle or the center of the circle has the center of gravity. When it comes to the beam that you see in the figure B of the first picture, you will see the center of gravity is at the middle of the beam. So students, the level of the center of the gravity changes according to the position that an object is kept. Okay, so if the base of an object is broad at the ground, the center of gravity also gets close to the ground, as the picture A. If the base of an object is narrow at the ground, the center of gravity also gets away from the ground, as picture B, which is unstable. You can't keep a cone like that. It obviously fall down. A is stable because it has a wide base and the center of gravity is lower. B is unstable because it has a very narrow base and the center of gravity is higher. C is neutral because it has a very narrow base and the center of gravity is middle of the object. Therefore, the weight spread around equally. But if we give a very small force to the neutral sphere, what happens? It starts to move. So here is an example related to center of gravity and stability. When it comes to ships, ships are normally moving side to side. Therefore, within ships, they can't use normal bottles with narrow bases. They are using bottles with broad bases as the figure A shows. Therefore, the center of gravity becomes lower. Therefore, the stability of the bottle is higher than the stability of the bottle B. Now students, look at this plank which has fixed with a pivot at the center of the gravity. If the weight of this plank is equal along that, the center of the gravity acts at the center of the plank, right? Therefore, the weight acts at the pivot of the plank. The moment forces get balanced in both sides. Therefore, the plank stays stable, as well as a normal reactions towards the upward direction also acting from the pivot of the plank. Forces on a beam. Normally, the weight of a beam is acting at the center of gravity. So if the weight of this beam is 20 newtons, look at the figure 1, the first figure. It has two supports at the two edges of the beam. Therefore, an upward normal reaction force is happening or acting from both the supports. Both the supports are getting 10 newtons force towards the upward direction, which is the half of the weight of the beam. Look at the second figure. At that figure, again the weight of the beam is 20 newtons, but it only has one support at the right corner. Therefore, since it only has one support, the normal reaction force is 20 newtons, which is equal to the weight of the beam. balance in moment force. When we are balancing moment forces, the weight of the plank is not considered when the center of gravity of the plank at along the pivot. Okay, now look at the seesaw that has balanced on the figure. In this one, the pivot is at the center of the gravity, therefore we are eliminating the weight of the plank. We are only taking the forces that are coming as the weights of these two buoys. The perpendicular distance from the pivot to the buoy 1 is d1. The perpendicular distance to the buoy 2 is d2. Therefore, we can balance the seesaw as the sum of anticlockwise movement equals sum of clockwise movement. Therefore, we can write the equation as m1 multiplied by d1 equals to m2 multiplied by d2. If the moments are balanced, the seesaw remains stable without moving to downwards in the right or left directions. Okay students, now let's see how to find the moment of an unbalanced seesaw. If the moments get unbalanced clockwise or anticlockwise of the movement, what will happen to the pivot point? In this problem, the m1, which is the weight of the first person, is 500 Newton and m2 is 200 Newtons. d1 and d2, which is the perpendicular distance from the pivot, is 2 meters. And the pivot is at the center of the gravity. So we will eliminate the weight of the plank, right? So here first of all we have to find the clockwise movement, which is m1 multiplied by d1. We get the answer as 1000 Newton meters. The anticlockwise movement m2 multiplied by d2, we get the answer as 400 Newton meters. Therefore, the moment of clockwise is larger than the anticlockwise. Hence the seesaw leans down to the right as it rotates clockwise about the pivot. We have reached the end of the video. I hope that you have got some knowledge about the turning effect of forces. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. Bye.